Welcome to Office Hours with Midland University Online. I'm Madison Keith, and today I'm sitting down with Jill Frederick, who was recently hired as a professor at Midland University and was also our first student admitted to our doctoral program for education. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, Jill. How are you doing?
Hi, Madison. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
And we're so excited to have you. You are definitely a favorite at Midland. I've already heard so much about you. So I'm really excited to just get into it. I would love to know how you started in education and why.
Sure. I was the kid that always knew I wanted to be a teacher. When I was little, I played school all the time. And even when I was in elementary, middle, and high school, I knew that I wanted to teach, but also at the college level. So I've taught a bunch of different things, and it's been amazing. I've done grades 5, 7, and 8 with an emphasis on language arts. And then most recently, I earned my endorsement as a high ability learning facilitator. So I worked with gifted kids from kindergarten through 12th grade. And that was amazing. I really feel that that's what I'm most passionate about. And so one thing I'm excited to do at Midland is I get to work with undergraduates who are taking high ability learning courses and help them learn all about their high ability students.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes.
That's awesome. So what was your undergraduate education like? Where did you go? And
Sure.
what did that look like?
I went to Lincoln, and my undergrad is in elementary ed. I had a wonderful time. One thing I loved about Lincoln, we did so many practicums where we went into the classrooms, and I felt very prepared, not only to student teach, but to teach. I felt Lincoln just really did a great job with all of those experiences. And I was involved on campus. One of my favorite things, I was a recruiter for the football team. I was a Husker hostess.
That's awesome.
It was really awesome. So it was a paid job. We got paid, but we also got free football tickets. And when on game days, the future recruits would come, and we would eat with them at the training table and visit with their families and introduce them to the coaches. And then we would go out onto the field for pregame. And it was just such an incredible job. I loved it.
That's awesome. I was going to ask if you got to eat at the training table.
We did. And it was, it was really good. That was like the best meal of the week. That was the highlight.
Yeah.
And then they would have big bags of Colby Ridge popcorn and bottles of water that you could grab on the way out too.
Nice. That would make it worth it. Just that in itself would make me want to do that.
Completely. It was great. And the moms, it just was really sweet. You'd meet these moms who are so proud of their sons, and it was a great experience.
Yeah. So how long were you teaching in elementary?
Sure. I taught 2 years in 5th grade, and I absolutely love 5th grade. And then my husband and I got married and we moved. So I moved to a different district, and it's actually where I went to middle school is where I was then teaching.
Oh, that's so fun.
It was fun. And a lot of the teachers that I had were still there, and a couple were now my bosses. And so it was a really cool kind of shift and to see things in a different way. And I love teaching language arts, reading, writing, speaking. I love all things children's lit, young adult lit. I love helping kids who are reluctant readers find a book to read. Mm-hmm. I believe that there is a book out there for everybody, and I will do my darndest to help you find it.
What do you like to read in your personal time?
Oh my gosh. I like to read a little bit of everything. So I do read a lot of children's and young adult lit. Right now I'm reading Amari and the Knight Brothers. It's up for Golden Sower nomination.
Okay.
Good little sci-fi book. It's one of the chapter books nominated, so it'll be for grades 6 through 8.
Nice.
I love mystery. My husband and I were talking yesterday. I think I might be a book hoarder. I have so many books.
I relate to that on like a core level.
Yes.
I can't borrow books because once if I read a book, it's mine. It's in my brain and I need it. Yeah.
I know.
Yep. I'm so glad someone gets it.
Oh, 100%. I was packing up my classroom at the end of the year and moving things home, and we just kept laughing. It's like, oh, I brought home more books today. Oh, I still have more books today.
Yeah. Yep. I get that 100%.
I have a shelf in my basement, and it's kind of like the top of my favorite books. So I have some from when I was a kid. I love the Ramona Quimby books.
Oh,
and, some Judy Blume, like Super Fudge and Fudge. Mm-hmm. But then I love The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna and The Kite Runner and A Dog, Marley and Me by John
Oh, yeah.
Rogan. Yeah. So it's kind of fun, to really think about what are your absolute favorite and to kind of make a dedicated space in your house.
Yeah, I love that.
And have those books on there.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you? What do you like to read?
Oh, I love mysteries and thrillers. I think those are my favorites.
Yes.
I'm really into all of it. The Silent Patient.
Love. Did you read the sequel, The Maidens?
Yes. Both so amazing.
So good. The
plot twist. Just,
I know.
No one does a plot twist like him.
I know. We're here for it. We love it.
We are here for it. So what kind of inspired you to transition from teaching younger kids to moving into higher ed?
Sure. I have been an adjunct at Midland for 3 years, and I just fell in love with it the first time I started working for them. So I taught graduate students high ability education classes online, and it was just awesome to connect with teachers in a different way and to help them grow as a professional and to help them really be there to advocate for our high ability kids.
Right.
And then I heard about the doctoral program starting, and so I was visiting with Dr. Romanek Murphy, and
love her.
So
much.
Oh my
She's
gosh.
So fantastic.
We should just have a gush session about her. She's
amazing.
The best.
And she let us take pictures of her, which are now part of all of our marketing campaigns, which she wasn't anticipating, but now her face is just a part of Midland Online.
There's not a better person.
I know. It worked out really
perfect.
perfectly. I love it. She laughs about it, but I think it's amazing. I think it's great.
She's the best. And so we were visiting about the doctoral program, and I said, hey, I saw that there was a posting for an elementary ed position. I know I'm kind of late to the game, but if anything were to open up like this again, I'm definitely interested. And she said, I'm going to stop you right there. You need to apply right now. After we hang up, you go apply right now. And so she was really that push that took me there. And I just think the world of her. And so those words were really the encouragement that I needed. And I've always heard as a teacher, you grow up with your kids. So I have twin daughters. They are the best kids ever. They'll be 16 this summer. And I just am feeling ready for some older kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. Twin girls. That's
twin
awesome.
girls. They're the best. Yeah. That's when they were born, they were early 34 weekers, and within 24 hours, the NICU nurses had them nicknamed, and my mom was leaning over Maggie and said, "Isn't she so sweet?" And the nurse said, "No, the sweet one's over there. This is the spicy one." And that still holds true. And
that's so funny.
I love
She
them.
knew right
she
away.
Knew. And I love that. We all need a little sugar and spice.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Balance each other out. That's awesome.
Definitely.
That's great.
Definitely.
So when kind of in your career journey did you get that HAL endorsement, and what kind of prompted you to get that?
Sure. I earned that, when my girls were born, I stayed home with them for 7 years, and it was great. I love that. And then I went back, I found a part-time teaching job, and it was high ability learning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I started working on my degree, my endorsement in 2014. And I just have always loved that group of kids. I identify with them. I remember one principal, the feedback he gave me was, sometimes things are a little too hard in your classroom. You have to really think about all learners, and that was a great thing to point out. But it also just showed me that I really am drawn to our high thinkers. Mm-hmm. And so I earned my endorsement through the University of Nebraska at Kearney, and taught 7 years as an elementary facilitator with the public school district, and then moved into middle school. And I helped out for a semester at high school too. So it was cool to see kids of all ages.
Yeah, that's everyone. That's so great.
And one of my favorite things to talk about with kids and parents and teachers is the unique social and emotional needs our gifted learners have. Mm-hmm. And that's surprising to a lot of people. We think perfectionism is something like, just don't act that way, just put it away, outgrow it. But they're not going to.
Right.
They will always be a perfectionist. It's woven into the fabric of their being. And so what strategies can we use to help them overcome and be the best to themselves, have a growth mindset?
Yeah, I would love to kind of hear about that, those strategies, how you kind of nurture and foster that level of perfectionism that, like you said, other people might think, get that under control, but it could make them so successful, and it's just part of who they are. So I'd love to talk about that.
So, and a lot of times our gifted kids come with heightened emotions too. And so I remember at parent-teacher conferences this last year, Dad was sitting across from me and he said, I'm just trying to toughen her up. She just cries all the time. And I just said, but that's who she is. She has these big emotions. That's not going to change. And so how can we embrace that and nourish it, but not let it overtake her?
Right.
And so I said, I would encourage her, hey, if you need to cry, it's okay. You can go ahead and cry, and give her space and time to do that. And once they have permission to cry, it's almost like, okay, I think I'm okay. I don't need to spend as much time on that.
Right.
And same with perfectionists. There are certain things. I am a perfectionist through and through. And so my family and we watched Ted Lasso recently. We love that show. And there's a scene in there where they're practicing and Coach Lasso calls a player over. He made a mistake. And he said, Sam, do you know what the happiest animal in the world is? And Sam just looks at him and he says, no, a goldfish. Do you know why, Sam? No, because a goldfish has a 10-second memory. Be a goldfish, Sam. And so I talk with my kids. At school, we named our inner goldfish, right? We have to have
I love that.
Yep. So mine's Frankie. And Frankie just loves all things fun and moving around, moving and grooving. And so when you're getting down, you have to channel that inner goldfish. And I think it's important, too, to think about, I can't be perfect at everything, right? I can't. But what is the most important to me? What do I really want to put all my time and effort into? And if it's this project, okay, then I know I'm going to have to let these other things kind of fall by the wayside. And that's okay. And so it's just practicing over and over and over again, that growth mindset.
Right. I really love that. I think that is so powerful and such a powerful tool to just not let yourself get swallowed up by negative things that might be happening or big feelings.
Absolutely. And it's, it's cool with this knowledge as a health facilitator, really helping classroom teachers too, because they'll get frustrated with these behaviors. They'll start and then they'll crumple the paper up and throw it away, and then they'll just sit there. Well, because they are upset with themselves that their drawing wasn't perfect or whatever. So how can we look at that through a different lens and help them keep going and moving on?
Right.
Yeah.
How do you kind of balance? You've done a ton of education. You're still continuing your education. You're going to be teaching. How do you kind of balance that with your personal life and just balancing all of it with each other and still keeping that positive attitude?
Oh yeah. Thanks for the question. It's been a lot this summer, and I think it is just stepping back and saying, it's okay. It's all going to be okay. My husband's incredible, and he will be my biggest cheerleader and biggest supporter. But I think it's also believing in yourself, having a great team around you. And then just what I was thinking about this morning, actually, is that I really need to make scheduled blocks of time to do my studying, right? So if I can really say, okay, Tuesday and Thursday mornings from 8 to noon, I'm doing this. And really kind of take it as almost a job, like I can't be interrupted during that time. I think that is going to help me prioritize, because right now it feels like a lot in the summer with running my girls all over and taking 2 classes, and I'm teaching a course, and so I don't want to let anybody down, and so I'm trying my best to be perfect, and so we know that it's okay if we're not. Yes.
That's great.
Thank you for that question, Madison. Thank you for helping me reflect on that.
Of course. I was genuinely curious because you're doing it all, so I'm always curious how people balance all of that. And speaking of balance, your job is so, obviously it's a lot of the education side, but it's very personal. So what do you kind of like to do to refresh and recharge in addition to getting your education? How do you take care of yourself in the aspect that gives you the capacity to be so personable and connect with your students?
Oh, thanks. That's a great question. My recharge is being with my husband, Jim, and our girls, Maggie and Mackenzie. We just have the best time together. And so yesterday Jim had to work, but we took a girls' day. And so Maggie, Mackenzie, and we decided we're doing like a dive bar tour of Omaha this summer. Yeah. So we're going to go check out a new place to eat each week. Yesterday we went to the Rusty Nail. It was fabulous. Tuesday, $6 chicken wraps. Go try them.
I 100% will. I've been meaning to go there.
Oh, it was fabulous.
Okay.
Just fabulous.
Add it to my list.
Yes. Then we love Barnes & Noble. So then we went to Barnes & Noble.
Yes.
I know, right? Like we could have.
It makes me so happy. Just the smell of all the new books.
I know.
Yeah, I'm there at least once a week.
Oh, yeah.
That's my recharge, is just stepping foot into that building.
I know. Oh, we just love it. And then we went and saw Elemental by Pixar yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, it was great. It was just a great movie, like very relatable, great for discussion on lots of different levels. So I think not only is it making that dedicated study time, it's making that non-dedicated study time. Like I just need to be mom right now.
Right.
And I just need to go have fun and not think about other things.
Right.
And it's kind of compartmentalizing, if you will, in your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That definitely makes sense.
Yes.
That's awesome. So you are getting your doctorate with us, which is so exciting. You were the first student admitted to the program, which is crazy. And I know Bree is so excited. Who's an advisor.
Bree awesome?
Oh, she's incredible.
Oh
she
my
is a ray of
gosh.
sunshine.
Oh my
That girl.
gosh. And you know, Bree is always available. If you have a question, like whatever you need, she's there to help. I think that's amazing.
She really is incredible. She is like, she gets a call from a student. She's vanishes into thin air. She's like, bye. I'm talking to the student now. Yeah,
Wow,
she's amazing.
She's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you'll have the best time with her as your advisor, because she truly, all of our advisors are incredible. Bree is just she's very bubbly, bright, and it's.
Oh, you can tell.
Yeah, it's contagious. She's awesome. I love being in the office with her. She's hilarious.
Don't you love coworkers like that?
I do. That's what is really unique about Midland Online, is that it really feels like I'm just hanging out with my friends all day, because all of my coworkers are everyone there really has that attitude of being fun and bubbly, and we listen to music all day, and we just,
oh my gosh.
And then it's like the whole day is gone, and then the whole week is gone.
Oh
and it's
my
like,
gosh.
and somehow we managed to get everything done that we needed to get done. I don't know how, but.
Okay, now what's on the summer playlist at the office?
Oh, so the other our marketing manager, who I work on basically everything with, she is on aux every day, and she usually finds a little playlist. Bree is a diehard Swiftie, so it's a lot of Taylor Swift. I am not a Swiftie. I do love Bree, so we have like a
Bree.
1 day a week type of situation. I'm like, let's negotiate here. So it's a lot of that, and then usually like early 2000s bops or like
fun.
Sunny Day playlist. So
Yes.
we were all singing the Phineas and Ferb theme song yesterday.
We love Phineas and Ferb in my house.
So good.
Oh my gosh, those boys are so smart and creative.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
we talk about them a lot. And
Yeah.
my sister used to date somebody named Carl. And you know, there's a song Carl from Phineas and Ferb that my girls sang to Carl when we met
Really?
him.
That's so cute. That is
I
so
don't
cute.
think Carl thought it was so cute, but as their mom, I thought it was
That's hilarious.
really cute.
That's maybe he just didn't get it. Maybe he's just like not as into Phineas and Ferb.
And I think the key phrase there is there was a guy my sister used to date. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guys who get it. The guys who don't.
Right.
Bye.
Right.
They're out of here. There you go. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of music, we are going to go see Ed Sheeran in Chicago this summer.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I know. Thanks. The girls turned 16. And so we are heading out on their 16th birthday.
Nice.
And there's an Ed Sheeran documentary on Disney Plus.
Oh, really?
Yes. And we just want to be his friend. Like, he seems like
He's amazing.
the most just kind, humble human.
Yep.
And we just all want to be his friend.
Yep. He is incredible. I would love to see Ed Sheeran in concert.
And I think he does. I don't know that he has a big band with him. I think
he's just doing it all.
yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Of course he is. He's Ed Sheeran.
Right? I know. He's amazing.
He really truly is.
I know.
I forgot what my question was before we started
sorry.
talking about Bree. No, it's okay. We got off talking about how great Bree is, which that's a great way to derail a conversation, because she is awesome. Oh, we were talking about how you're our first person admitted to our doctoral program.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and I was wondering kind of what your plans are with that, and what inspired you to, other than Cammie to get signed up for that and what your plans are.
Thanks for that question. I am really curious to dive more into the high ability world. When I did my program, so I've always known I wanted to be a teacher. I love learning. I loved school. It was awesome. When I went back for my high ability endorsement, I couldn't believe how much I did not know about high ability kids. And I was really struck by that. You know, I had taught, I had earned my degree, my undergrad degree. I was a mom. And here I'm taking these classes, and it's just all so new to me. Mm-hmm. And so I hope to help develop some classes or things for undergraduates to take to help them when they go into their classroom, they are ready for their high ability kids, ready to help differentiate for them and be there for them. Because high ability kids spend most of their day in the general classroom, which is great. And so how can we be there to help and support them? And so it's been cool to kind of dig into the research. And did you know that there's no national definition or policies for gifted ed?
That's kind of crazy.
Right? And so each state develops their own policy, their own definitions. And from there, each local school district has to develop their own identification system. How are we going to serve these kids? What's the programming going to look like? And there's a rule in Nebraska that you have to identify gifted kids, but you don't have to serve them. Yeah. So
why? What's the thought process behind that?
I think some see gifted ed as kind of elitist, or they're fine. They'll be smart. They know it all. They don't need more. But gifted education falls under a special education population. I
didn't know that.
Yes. They have such unique needs. A lot of them will be twice exceptional, where you might see a gifted mind, but then you also might see autism with it. And so to support the whole child and the whole learner, it can be called twice exceptional. So I don't know if it's a money thing or what all this is, but there is definitely room for growth and room for improvement here. And I hope to be part of that process and to help move things along.
Is there a community of educators in Nebraska who see the same things that you do?
Yes. So it's called the Nebraska Association for the Gifted, and they have a yearly conference, but it is teachers, mainly gifted ed teachers, but then there's principals and classroom teachers in there. And so we are a great group, and I would encourage anyone interested in gifted ed to look into that. Parents also, there's a great parent advocacy group in there as well. But really getting into your school district too, and how are they helping the gifted children? How are the teachers trained? A lot of it is, our teachers don't know that much about it.
Right.
And so if we can go back and make that better, I think that can move the dial in many, many ways.
Yeah. And that'll be you.
I hope.
So just changing the world casually.
Let's go, girl.
What advice would you give to new graduate, just got their bachelor's and is going into all of this brand new? What would you tell yourself?
One, be a goldfish. It's okay. The first year is a lot. My Aunt Kim, she taught in Papillion La Vista Community Schools for 30 years, and she was just initiated into the Educator Hall of Fame.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, she's pretty great. And she said, at the night that she got inducted, she said, anyone can teach kids how to read and write and do math. What you need to do to be different is you need to love them. And when kids know that you are there for them, you love them, you're in their corner, man, they'll move mountains for you. And so I think it all goes back to relationships. You need to build relationships with, with your students and their families, and then really dive into that learning piece.
What are some of your favorite ways to show your students that you care?
So I write my students' notes. I put them in the mail, and
I love that.
I know. There's nothing like getting a good piece of mail.
Oh, right? I know. It's so exciting.
Right.
It never happens anymore. So
no. Ooh, it feels vintage almost.
Yeah.
And so, I'll put little quotes that we've giggled about, or I'll make it very personal to them. I also love to eat lunch with them and let them and a friend come in, and you get to see a different side of them during lunch.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And then also I call their parents and I'll say, oh my gosh, Madison did the coolest thing today. Can I tell you all about it? and just sharing that positive news, especially at the beginning of the year. And when you can lay that positive foundation, man, the buy-in is awesome. And you can really feel the collaboration from the parents and being a team.
Right. Right. That's amazing that you really go above and beyond. And that's means, I'm sure, so much to those kids.
Oh, thanks.
So that's incredible.
That's what they need,
Yeah.
In today's world, life is hard. And so we need to be there to cheer them on and let their families know we love and support them.
Yeah. So that is, you are doing the most. So how do you kind of find that motivation again and again to do all of it, to not slack off and just teach them how to read and write and call it a day?
What I love is when I was a gifted teacher, every year is really different. And one of the favorite parts of my job was I could plan my own curriculum based on my students' needs. So this year, if I have Madison, and boy, Madison loves mysteries, then let's do a whole mystery unit. What can we do? Can we get some cold cases to solve? What can we bring in? Escape rooms. And so I love that creativity. And when you get to know your kids each year and things are different, it keeps it fresh, it keeps it alive. And we just try to always keep it very fun.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love that.
Thank you.
So tell me about this class that you're teaching at Midland.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome. It's Introduction to High Ability Learners. So I have 9 awesome students in there right now. Yes, and it's cool because they're from larger districts, smaller districts, and I love to see them learn from one another. And some will say, in my district, our HAL department is like this. And some will say, we don't even have a HAL department. And so we're on our 5th of 8 weeks, and I just love seeing them come together as a group.
Are they starting to form relationships with each other and get closer?
They are.
That's awesome.
And so each week I do a shout out. And so I email them at the beginning of our class and say, each week I'd love to do a shout out and I'd love to share work. That's how we learn, right? Is by looking at what one another are doing. And would it be okay if I shared your work at 1 week? And everyone was okay with it. So this week, I can't wait to read what they're doing. They're writing a thank you letter to a teacher who was exceptional, who went above and beyond, and they're going to be very specific in their letters and point out great evidence. And they're the greatest things to read. And so we'll have some shout outs with the letters coming up. And
how exciting. How exciting for those teachers.
Oh my gosh. And I said, please really consider sending this to your teacher, because we know that just means so much. And it'll be good.
Great.
Yeah.
I love that. That's amazing.
And we have 2 dads in our class, so they got a special honorary shout out last week for Father's Day. And
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, you can tell they love being dads.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So you got your undergrad at UNL, your endorsement at UNK.
And I did my master's at Peru State. They used to have a satellite campus in Omaha. And so my master's is in curriculum and instruction with an emphasis on technology. Okay. And it was great. I graduated from Lincoln in December of, I won't say the year, a long time ago. Sometime. And as a teacher, that was awesome because I spent the whole spring semester subbing. And so you can really see what you like, what you don't like, and get a feel for different things. And I just started working on my master's right away. When you're in the habit of school, just keep going because you don't know any different. Right?
That's great advice.
Yeah, just keep plowing through. And so I took, and I think to stay on my parents' insurance, I had to be like a full-time grad student too. So I think I took 9 credit hours, which was great. And so I started my first year with half of my master's degree already done.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was wonderful. And, you meet so many people. So that, again, was a long time ago. And I still run into people that we did our program with. And it's just cool. The education world is small and connected. And
that's awesome.
It is awesome to run into people after so many years and you just pick right up where you left off.
Yeah, especially when there are things that you see that need to be changed. It must be so nice to have a community of people that you can go to and talk about these things with.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And one of my first professors in my master's class was the superintendent of Elkhorn, and he hired me, and at that time there wasn't a teacher shortage and, that's hard to get. And so I felt very fortunate to have him and to get to know him and then get such an awesome job for my first job out of college.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
So how, after all of that, you're very impressive, your master's, your endorsements, your education, how did we end up at Midland for the doctorate?
Oh my gosh. Well, kind of, again, it all goes back to how it's connected. So someone that I used to work with, his wife works at Midland. And so Dr. Jamie Simpson is his wife.
I love Jamie Simpson.
Oh my gosh.
I say that about everybody you mentioned, but she is so funny.
She's the best.
She cracks me up. Like, she is so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. She was in the office yesterday. I was like, she was busy, but I got to say hi.
Good.
Yeah.
So Scott is her husband, and Scott reached out when they were kind of looking for adjunct professors, and from that first adjunct job, I was just sold. And Jamie has just been an incredible person to go to and say, okay, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? She's whip smart, funny as all get out.
Yep.
And just a really, really good human.
Yeah.
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 So I'm just so excited for my doctorate. I feel like I kind of dream about it even sometimes, when you're into something so much and it just keeps running through. But I was telling Dr. Romanuk Murphy that I can't believe how much I've learned in 5 weeks. And I can't wait to see where in 3 years all of this leads. I feel like it's going to lead somewhere that's not even on my radar yet. Yeah. And it's going to just be amazing.
Yeah. I feel like the education world is changing every day. So who knows?
A lot. Yeah.
When you're done, it'll look completely different than it looks now.
It will. And I even think about when I first started teaching, and it's so different from that. Yeah. And so different from when my girls were in elementary school. Now it's so different from that. I think every student really is on an individualized plan in a lot of ways. And so that's a lot for teachers. Yeah. And so how can we, what strategies do we have to make this a little bit easier?
Yeah, for sure. And how are you liking Midland? It sounds like you already know so many people.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
awesome.
Then I have to tell you this story. This was so funny.
Okay.
So on the day that I interviewed, I love Midland. Everyone is just so kind and so nice. And okay, so I came out all day for an interview, and I was heading out, and I was going down the elevator by myself, and a gentleman got on. And I said, hi there. And he said, hello. And I said, I'm Jill Frederick. I had interviewed. And he said, I'm Eric Hogemeyer. And I said, Eric Hogemeyer? Did you go to Lincoln and you were in Farmhouse? And he said, yes, I was. And I said, well, I'm Jill DeBoer and I remember you. And so we just kind of giggled. And I think that moment really just summed up Midland for me, right? Yeah. You can find anyone, anywhere, at any time and have a conversation with them. Completely. And it's a community, and they're kind and supportive and genuine. Yeah. And it just really made me feel right at home. That's awesome. I'm glad that from a student's perspective, and I mean, you're working there now as a professor too, so you have all of it, but all of it is positive, which is so great to hear. And important. Yeah, it really is. Life is hard, so we need positive places to work and to spend our time. Yes. Yeah, I completely agree. We have to support each other wherever we can. 100%. There's too much going on that we can't control, but that's something we can control. So yes, I agree. Makes a big, big difference. One last question to ask you before we wrap up. What advice would you give to someone who just got done getting their undergrad degree, is thinking about doing their master's, or someone who just got done with their master's, thinking about doing their doctorate, and just doesn't know if it's 100% the right fit? What advice would you give them? That's a great question. I think you need to ask yourself, are you a lifelong learner? And if you're someone who loves to learn, then the answer is yes. And I don't think you ever regret getting furthering your education. I just know that it's something that I'm very proud of to look back on and say, yeah, I've done all these things. And just the community that you build while you're working through these classes, there's nothing like it. You just become a very, very tight-knit group. Yeah. And so I'm here for it. I say go for it. Awesome. Yes. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Office Hours with Midland University Online. For more information about our graduate and professional studies programs, visit us at midlandu.edu/online. Visit the link in the description to follow us on social media for program updates, upcoming events, and podcast release dates. And thank you so much, Jill, for joining me today. Thanks, Madison. You're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you. Bye. Bye.